She was able to birdie that first par 5, her only of the day thus far. Slightly uphill, as you can see. There's 8th hole, at least for the tee shot. The supporters certainly like that one from Team Bang 2. So each of the 3 off to positive drives as we head back to the perimeter of number 8. This is Oh Soo Min. A little lift, trying to graze the fringe and get it to stop. Perhaps too much carry on that putt, though. She's left herself with an uphill return. Chip from a similar position. It's closer, but nothing to show for it. It'll be a par. Chang Soo-yeon, this is +1. Out with a 37 with a nice putt. Putts start to fall. Nice pickup. Nearing the end of the front 9 as well. And Oh Soo Min doesn't get that last revolution of the ball. Peng Min-ji, that's a brilliant putt. Well, it's a potentially historic week for her. She goes back-to-back to end the front 9. If she can finish inside of the top 8, she will become the all-time leader in the money list. Brilliant second shot to set up the approach, as the weather is playing along for us again this week, just as it had done the first 2 rounds. The Kyochun 1991 Ladies Open before a bit of a rainy Sunday. And Kung Shin Shields, she's not thrilled with it. She is making a beeline for the sand, and that's where it lands. And Che Gabin at 10. She's at 1 under as well. And plays an absolutely lovely approach. Should have no problem finding birdie from there. Osamin has a feeling this is left. We know for a fact that it is. Rattles off the tree trunk just before the rough, and she will be doing a bit of a scavenger hunt when she reaches the ball. Next to play on 8, and we'll hang up on the fringe. Beautiful May afternoon, 2:21 p.m. local time. here in Yong'un-chi. Pengxin Chiu with an unexpected trip to the beach. She had her work cut out for her, but it's a initial sand shot that she'd like a do-over of. With 22 degrees and sunny on this Friday at the Suwon Country Club. Playing the new course, the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship. EA1 is our leader at 6 under a 66 in the first round. Park Ji-young, last week's champion, leading the pack at 3 under with 69s in the opener. So much golf to be played before the end of our broadcast tonight. Glad to have you along. We'll take a quick break and be back with more here on the KLPGA Tour. And welcome back. That was Peng Xinxiu after finding the sand. Initially, still leaves herself with a bit of work to do with the putter. Sumin, we knew she was in a bit of trouble. Avoids the worst of it, but this is, by no stretch of the imagination, an easy shot to get out. Just a little layup to find the fairway once again. It's a good birdie for Zheng Yunji. She nears the end of the opening 9, able to get back to even par. Kim Biel next at 9, her approach shot. Stuck on the front third of the green. Gabin will be elated with that. She goes to 2 under 4 back of the lead. Peng Xinxiu, her final hole of the front 9, her drive. A really comfortable spot on the fairway. To dial in these approach shots, and for Sumin, she needed one that promising, considering where her drive had been. Now Pei So-hyun at 11, the par 5, able to reach. You could hear the gallery shouting to sit. It's just past pin high. Park Yang-kyung, to say it's been a struggle to start the round would be an understatement. +5 through 9. A chance to get back into the birdie column. We can rather confidently call that her best shot of the day. And Kim In-biai, 11.2 to go to 2 under. Starts to drop back online. That is a brilliant putt. .34 on the way out. Tied for 7th now with that long-range effort. Nice and tight approaches continue to fall with that brilliant bit of play from Peng Min-ji, who is settling into a rhythm. It would be 3 birdies on the bounce if she can get it to fall. And Oh Soo-min has to have this to avoid a bogey. She knew pretty quickly that that wasn't going to be the case. And a par putt gone missed. In the meantime, Mosamin trying to ensure it's just the one drop, but no. Overhit and pushed. A bit of a head scratcher. Is a double bogey, a disappointing way to end the front nine. 3 over in the final 3 holes of the round. And it is a perfect 3 from 3 for the defending champ. Always something to take note of when she starts to find her footing in these tournaments. Pengxin Shield at 9 next. Shaped from right to left. It's a little short on the par 4. Young, a 41 on the way out. Needs to get one of those strokes back. And she is successful in doing so. It is the battle for her to get back to even. Her first birdie of the round comes at number 10. It's an initial drive that is unable to find the fairway. Decent enough as that loops around and will stay to the right side of the green. So now it's rebound time for Osamin, beginning the back nine. Back-to-back par 4s to end and open. She certainly is not going to be satisfied by any stretch of the imagination with that offering. Still short of the green. And she will know in the back of her mind she's dropping almost certainly. And a blast from the sand that also does not want to find the green. One to work with for Park Ju-young as we now see what shouldn't have been as pivotal, but certainly is as such. Bang Xin-chil. It's about what was expected. And until the ball goes in the hole, she won't be able to feel much of the satisfaction that at least the hole is completed and the damage is mitigated. Now Che Gabin. Nothing more than a tap-in, certainly, remaining for her.
선수들을 위해서 카메라 말아주세요. 선수들을 위해서. And a putt at 11 coming back and just having enough legs. Lee Ga-young, her second birdie of the day, and she's back to even. So Yana 117 on 12. Just have enough to reach the green. ENG, who just got back into the birdie column at 8, trying to avoid relinquishing the stroke, or at 7, excuse me, she birdied. Just and only just enough for her par. El Sumin still having a few struggles finding the green. It was a chip from off the back with about 5 feet left of work. Nothing doing for Punshin Shield. When Peso Hyun, this would take her to 2 under here on number 12. Double bogey confirmed. Punshin Shield drops to +2. Chang Soo-yeon at 11, her approach up with the wind at her back. Couldn't get it to bite. Not proving very conducive to low scores. Another that goes slightly past the wind certainly factor there. No changes at the top. In fact, no changes on page 1. EA 166 still the score to beat. In the opening round of the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship, time for a break. We'll be back with more from the Suwon Country Club. And we return to the course here on hole number 12. It's Osumin. If she's had any areas of her game to find fault with, it's been the driver the last few holes. She avoids the tree and the moss around it with that effort. Can't get much closer than this. Mere centimeters away from the elusive eagle. Credit where credit is due. That's really nicely played. And Bungmin G is on a run of 3 birdies from 3. This one would test even her almost unmatchable ability. She's gonna give it a go nevertheless. Starts it well to the inside and it loops around, and always seemed like that was going to be the end product. It is a shout for nice par, and you can't find much reason to disagree with that assessment from the crowd. And after an abysmal front 9, Bak Yang was looking to go 2 from 2. That putt had other ideas, however, and she is held where she was. Now Che Gabin at 12, a long way back, looking for a birdie to send her to 3 under, but it is slightly underplayed. Osumi from the opposite side of the tree. Just in the fairway, she loses her footing as she went for all the power to try and reach, but will end up in the sand trap to the right of the green. She rolled the dice and did not get the numbers she sought. And Bak Ju-young at 12. This to go to 2 under par looks a little short and ends up being as such. back to 11. It's 208 meters out for Kim Min Biel. Her second shot at the par 5. She is going to reach. In fact, she's going to do more than that. Rolls off the back of the green. We didn't see this one, but we certainly heard it. It's a great result for Iga Young. That'll do wonders for her scorecard at the end of our opening hour of coverage of this 2024 NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship. 6 under remains the score to beat at the Suwon Country Club, though there are several players in the hunt. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will begin hour 2 on the 12th green here on the KLPGA Tour. The recovery efforts from that double bogey for Osumin continue as she plays her approach shot to about 4 meters short of the pin. Decent initial offering on the par 3. We have some business to attend to in and around the greens. Kim Bial, who went very long with her second, this to set up a birdie putt. A little bit longer than she would have hoped. She can work with that. This is Che Gabin on the par 3 13th. That's 2 great tee shots to start this hole off. And inching closer and closer, and how about a hole out? Park Young, she has 2 birdies in the last 3, still outside of the top 100, not something we say about her very often, but some confidence being built on the back 9, no doubt about it. And this effort on 11, she was mindful of the speed, but Kim Min-byul left a little too much off of it. Pang Min-ji rightfully disappointed that that doesn't find the bottom of the cup. Che Gabin quietly going about her business and climbing into a share of second with another birdie. The most important thing for her certainly is avoiding the bogeys. And Osumin rolls that one in. +1 now as she slowly unwinds that double at number 9. Number 14, it's a 351-meter par 4 with a large sand trap to the right of the fairway, 125 to 105, the average distance remaining off the tee. And from there, bunkers on the outside of each of the left and right greens. We, of course, are playing the rights, and the pin in this first round, 13 yards off the front and 9 yards from the right fringe, keeping that drop off in the back third out from play this day.
Okay. 알겠습니다. Okay.
Each of the 3 tee shots played, and everyone, of course, is starting to pay more and more attention to Shea Gabine in her round that sees her within just a few strokes of the top. This is wonderfully played on the par 3 to 6 or 7 feet at the most past the pin. Well, that was nearly an impossible recovery shot. It is not the best, and she will know it. She stares down the face of her driver. Park Ji-young on 14 applauded for the drive, and it ends up right down the middle of the fairway. Zooming to the fairway as well. And an update on the 2024 race to the WeMix Championship. At the end of the season, 500,000 WeMix coins will be on offer. 20 million won for the tour winner by season's end, and a monthly MVP that will take home 1 million as well. Park Ji-young, after her win last week, she is the leader in the points championship. Park Yang also up a spot to number 2. Hung Yoo-min up 4 positions, Lee Jung-min drops 3, and Chung Yoon-ji still inside of the top 3 at 5th position. Kim Min-biel, this is her approach shot at number 12. Not quite pin high, but not too far off that mark either. Oh-seung-min from the right side of the fairway. She's not going to be able to come up with anything on that approach as she stays in the fairway just short of the green. Lee Ga-young on 14 at 1 under par. Will be able to reach and will have a fairly flat putt for a birdie. Wind at her back, and in fact everyone in the groups not doing much to influence the outcome of that approach. So the next offering goes all the way to the rear. Soft touch around the green to set up a tap in. Much better for Oh-seung-min. And Chae Min-kyung, who is at +3, has pulled this approach and is a little bit deeper than would be conducive to a birdie. It's a great putt for Chung Yun-ji, who was in need of that. Finally able to climb back to even, tied for 30th. Just a few holes into her back nine. Deft little play from a shot some 7 meters before the front of the green. Kimin Bial to go to 3 under, but she lips out. Golden opportunity that to inch closer to even. Minji at his back-to-back pars now, still at 1 under, now on to hole number 14. Young to avoid dropping to +4 when she must have and does have. Young at 14. This is going to get downhill and pick up plenty of speed. The line looks very good to start. That is exquisite. You can commend the skill. There's also a large piece of that that's a hope and a prayer. And watch this again. That's probably 7 meters to the inside left of the pin to get it started. She's within 4 inside of the top 10 and very, very well earned. Assuming a par, +1 she stays. Young at 14 has a birdie of her own. It's now 3 and the back nine, 4 in the round. She also goes to 2 under, tied for 8th. 7-iron for on the par 3 for Osumin. 13, she's looking to reach the back. You get a really good view of the change of elevation, two-tiered this putting surface, and she finds the front.
저랑 박진영으로 얘기할게.
50만.
아니야, 45만 원.
왼쪽 뜰까요?
그거 써도 되고 좌우측 다 써도 돼. 방향만 그냥 잘 핀 쪽으로 넣어. 45 그냥 이걸 짧게 밑에 있어도 돼. 이렇게. 언덕 넘어서 우측 트윈.
Frustrating day. Kim In-biel continues as she is off the green. Swinging a blast into the fairway meanwhile. The uphill tee shot. Played expertly by Park Chu-young, hanging around near the top.
홍동민 다음. 박수영이야?
Young gonna stay to the left, but has absolutely no issue finding the fairway. A much more normal and consistent back nine in progress for Park Young. Quite the power required. To get to the front of the green, to the bottom of the cup. A mark and a regroup. Now Peng Min-ji from the fairway. Her second shot on 14. About skipping a roll, and she is between the two putting surfaces. Starting to see a few new names towards the top of the leaderboard at this point in the opener of the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship. Most notably, a surging pair on the back nine at the moment to 2 under par. Jay Gabin is one of them.
이동하는 거 같은데. 여기까지. 아니 여기까지 치면 이 정도 친다는 느낌으로 쳐도 돼. 너무 세면은 뒤로 가. 여기 말고 세면
And a long way back across the face of the green. It's about 6 or 7 feet short. Very little more than just the tap and finish for Bae So Hyun, who has parred every hole but the second that she birdied. Still at 1 under. And just escaping the sand, but with the wind at her back and a little more level of a ball flight, that will run all the way to the fringe at the rear. This is Jay Gabin at 3 under from the rough, having missed off the tee on 15. It's 121 meters to go. She's going to reach the green, but be unable to stay on it. Putting. It's still some work to be done. There you see the name of Jay Gabin. 3 back, tied for second, and she's not the only one still on the course within the top 10. Lee Ga-young, who is 2 under through 15. Same for Park Ju-young. Kim Min-byul, 2 under through 13. And Mata Som, 2 under through 11. And this opening round of the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship live from the Suwon Country Club. And welcome back to the Suwon Country Club. This is Oh Soo Min, who is our low amateur thus far, struggling a bit on the back nine. She is level with Kim Shi-hyun, who is also an amateur at +1. To the back of the green and working on the long return path. Maybe a foot past the hole. It's a decent shot to set up a par. Bill, meanwhile, hasn't done a ton of birdieing, but more importantly, she's avoided multiple bogeys. 4 in a row pars to start the back nine. But a left to right swooping putt. There's nothing to show for it. Also being applauded for good effort at the last. Kyung looking to, excuse me, Chega Bean looking to stay in the hunt, but she overhits this putt that goes 260 degrees around the corner and shoots out to the right. Brilliant shot indeed to start the par 3 for Chung Yoon Ji. Putt from out the green, that will still leave 3 or 4 feet of work. Assuming teeing off at 14 next. And is able to find the fairway. Simple tap in. Important one for Jay Gabin to avoid dropping more than the 1 stroke. Let's go to 16 next. 144 meters this par 3. Any other hole and we could firmly declare this a dogleg right. But up the hill, that right green develops in front of you. The pin today, it is 7 and 7. That is yards off the front and off the left fringe. Most difficult of the topographical changes are at the back right corner. It's a decent opening tee shot. You get Young to the back. With the wind guiding her back towards the center, it is a well-played tee shot on 16. And it will send us to our next commercial break here in the opening round of the 2024 NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship. EA1 continues to be our leader. So Eileen and Baka room 2 in with those 70s for 2 under par inside of the top 10. We'll be right back for more with the Suwon Country Club. 3:50 p.m. local time in Suwon, Shi to be precise, and we bear witness to the shots from around the green and on it. Shortchanged our first offering. G quietly going about her business, finding a birdie. Let's go to 16, Iga Young. Look at a birdie. Lengthy one, right to left and downhill. Left a little bit off of it. She'll have 1.5 meters or so for a par. Disappointing one, an effort from basically the fringe, not much closer than that, and a fairly dejected golfer she goes around to mark off. G looked like she was going to put together quite the chart. She is leveled out in terms of the excitement. And Chega being nearly able to get that birdie back that she had relinquished at the last. We'll have a tap in before this hole is done. This is Osumi to get back to even, running it downhill. Bit too much speed on a very narrow line. Park Ju-young patiently and effectively going about her business, but unfortunately for her first bogey of the day, that drops her to 1 under. Her First slip up of the entire round. And ice cold, unfortunately, goes or remains to be as accurate as possible. Kim Min-byul. Pars all around, and it takes us back to our defending champion, Bung Min-ji. That is now 5 on the bounce. She stays at 1 under par. No spell or a speck of trouble for Lee Ga-young. She fades that drive off into the rough. On to 17 and a response hole for Park Ju-young. Time for a flashback. It was hole 17, a par 5. Last time we were here at Suwon, and an absolute rocket off the tee. 300 meters and downhill. Setting up a second shot, which is not quite a layup, especially the uphill nature of the hole, but an effort that would find the fringe, and with number 3, Sheen Shield would go on to birdie. She, of course, one of the foremost power hitters on tour, despite being at the beginning of her career. Let's see how the group can fare today. First shot finds the fairway. And plucked up by Pengmin-ji, but under hit, does not reach the green. Park Ji-young 289, her second on 17. Cuts that down the hill well to return to the fairway. finally back to our birdieing ways, and it comes from a fan favorite, Hung-Min Ji. Maybe not our birdieing ways, but our holing out ways, as she couldn't escape the fairway with her last, but doesn't need the putter after all. Setup shot for Bak Jiang on 17, just a whisker inside of 100 meters short of the pin. She goes to the back right corner and off the green. And on 15, the long way back to less than a meter away. The supporters chanting for the ball to go. It complies with the request. And Yang will be up and putting. This short effort that would never trouble. Kim Min-byul finds the bottom of the hole. Chega being 45 meters out for her. Runs that up fairly tight. We are now 4:09 p.m. local time in our third and final hour of coverage of this opening round of the Suwon Country Club. An impressive day for EA1, who looks quite comfortably ahead of the fields by the day's end this Friday. 54 holes to decide a champion. Great to have you along on the KLPGA Tour. Welcome back. We almost do it with a highlight reel effort from off the green. Fortunately, just sailing past the inside of the pin to its left. Park Ji-young with just a couple of holes remaining in her Friday round.
그린 딱 올라갔어. 괜찮아. 저기요.
Not her best tee shot, and she'll know that. Kim Byul is off and away on the par 3. And Park Ji-young will have just enough to see this tiptoe down and in. Lee Ga-young also on 17 and also depositing that to the bottom of the hole. Nice birdie indeed. No Sumin. She was trying to jar it. Nothing to celebrate on that one, unfortunately. Chigapi knew how close she just came to regaining that position, second on the leaderboard. Kim Byul for birdie next. 3 holes to play, 4 back. She's been playing steady, but hasn't really been able to make her move. It's 6.7 meters to the hole and just short. She'll tap in and we'll have to settle for another par. A little skipping shot that is going to drop from off the green. Maesung, one of the NH Investment and Securities sponsored athletes, has 3 birdies in a row to end the round at even. Fair play to her. '18 is the next, and it is a par 4 to conclude the rounds at 343 meters. That tee shot is well into the rough. Just a simply brilliant day. Ask for more from the weather perspective. We could ask for a little bit more in terms of the birdies, if we're being honest. But let's see if these final 15 to 20 minutes can help add a few more to our total for the day. Gonna get our first at 16. Cheng Ji thought she was on with a chance. No Sumin walks in her par.
자신 있게 는다 생각하겠습니다.
Go back to 17. This is Peng Ji, her fourth from off the green, still 20 meters to get back. Softly struck as this will roll. That was the slightest amount downhill, and she actually goes past where she was aiming to be. Chigabin, this is the trouble she finds herself in on 18. It's only 130 to go, but she is right up with the trees and is 8.2 meters above the hole. See how she fares. She's off into the trees again, this time to the right of the green, and that is going to be a fairly fortunate pin placement, but a difficult second shot nevertheless. Lands with an emphatic slap and fairly softly onto the green as well. This from Pak Ju Young. Ige Young at 18. Her approach is the best of the lot. Sumin teeing off on the final par 5 of her round. As she reaches back for a little extra. Chang Su-yan in this group on 17. A putt from above the hole. Or for good reason. Feathers in a nice one. Just her second birdie, excuse me, of the day. The other coming late to the front 9 on 18. Looking to advance on the 17th and does so successfully. G. She needed that to save her par. Misaligned, and it will cost her on the leaderboard. Back to 16, Chung Yoon Ji. Short change, didn't strike that well. Sumin still 250 to go.
들어가겠습니다.
Park Joo-young for a round of 70, well right of the pin. She starts this anticipating a lot of break. And it comes a bit too late. G at the score she started the day with.
들어가겠습니다.
She heads into the fairway. We return to the green. There where we bear witness to Lee Ga-young with one final birdie. So she takes sole possession of second with her 6th and final of the day. Without those 2 bogeys, she would be a co-leader. Really nice round and very little to take issue with. Kim Min-byul's approach lands comfortably.
들어가겠습니다.
On 18, Park Joo-young narrowly saves pars. That's looked like it was gonna break in a hurry, but that 71 in the opener is confirmed. And Chung Yoon-ji back across the face of the green, but offline to start. Sumin, her 3rd on 17, needs the backspin to come in right on cue. So it's not an ideal lie, and that might be polite, but she has a front pin placement today, so she can play the little chip from just beneath the tree. Chung Yoon-ji disappointed that there is 2 outlines around the 5,
그렇죠.
she suddenly finds herself over par with that double. She thought it was there. It swoops away. Some commiseratory applause. She'll rightfully be frustrated with the score here. Jacobine, her 70th, and what she hopes will be her final shot of the round, and is so. 2 under, tied for 9th. 4 birdies and 2 bogeys on the day, as she is one of 18 players at 2 under or better. Peng Xinxiu now +6. Teeing off on 17, she's tied for 124th at that score. She's off into the rough. Can't ask for a whole lot better than that with calm wind. Young gets to the green. It has obviously been a rather tumultuous day for her. Inside of the top 100 still looked like she had turned a corner after the 12th, but bogey 13 and par since. The next try, it's a bit deeper and some humor is found in it. Not the shot she wanted, and Peng Minji will be applying the pressure on herself. So she's off with a hope that she'll only have 1 putt remaining. Sumin, meanwhile, gets back to even with her 2nd birdie of the back 9. Pengxin Shiel's second, looking down towards the green and hoping to be within 100 meters of it. Sumin on the 18th tee. It's been steady, but anything but prolific, and that'll be disappointing to see her drive end up in the bunker.
얘는 그럼 카메라까지 괜찮아.
아니 더 왼쪽도 상관없어. 카메라맨 왼쪽 한 10m까지 그럼 페어웨이 딱 끝어. 그거 맞아? 바람 많이 와.
Kim Bill plays her drive, and we head back to the green. Starting well to the outside, dropping back towards the pin, but shallow. The next approach finds the green, the center of it, when it required a back right placement. Pengxin Shi will safely be happy to see this round behind her in the rearview mirror. Look to bounce back tomorrow. very close. Pengmin G watches it sail to the inside. A tap in par for her to finish off the round. Proving again why 17 such a tough nut to crack today. Spak Yang Yang for a round of 75. It's a good birdie to end the day. We're close to the end of the line. Meta Som up with a 3-under score through 14. She is the closest to challenging EA1's 66, which is our top score towards the end of the opening round of the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship, live from the Suwon Country Club.
센 거야. 맛은 그렇게 없어. 그냥 이거 쳐봐. 무조건 가. 좋다. 우와.
her back to wrap up a few more rounds. It is down to the closing stages, certainly, for our featured groups. Not nearly as much today to celebrate. Came down 2 as she would hope, but on the penultimate hole, she looks like she is on for a birdie. She could use a few of them. If she has aspirations, which certainly she does, of making the cut tomorrow. Chaemin Gyung at +4 in a similar position outside of the top 100. Didn't quite get the bite on 18. Rolls about 6 meters past the pin. She needed that to recover from multiple missed opportunities today. She will stay at +5. Now Sumin from the bunker, looking for an up and down sand save to stay at even. No one-putt finish. Chung Yun-ji limping in to the end of the round. A missed opportunity with her putter. We have reached the 18th and final hole. This is how it looks. Downhill off the tee, 343 meters in distance. You can see the fairway bunker to the right just before the dogleg really turns and opens up towards the greens. And from there, the approach shots will be played. Everything into that final stretch from 140 to 115 meters on average. And looking to stay on the front third of the green, 34 yards deep. The pin today, it is 11 yards from the front and 10 from the left fringe. Opening drive perfectly into the turn. And Chaemin Gyung just has enough to drop for one final birdie today. 72 or 75 is her score. Her only birdie on the round comes at the end, and she breathes a sigh of relief. Kim Min-byul was hoping that was going to be her final shot of the day. It was her 69th. She'll instead roll in a par. She is one of the few inside of the top 10 who found birdies consistently without the bogeys. 16 pars, 2 birds, and she finishes tied for 9th. Osimhen just above. And we'll tap in for a round of 75. One bogey, a double bogey, 3 birdies in her opening round. Worth the wait for that from Peng Xinxiu. She can have a significant number of approaches like that tomorrow and eliminate some of the difficulties off the tee. She can very much get back and avoid a cut. That's a perfect 2 for 2 now, as that's nicely struck by Chung Yun-ji. only one to fail to reach the green. It's the wrong club in retrospect. Hindsight is always 2020. And while we wait for our featured group to reach the 18th green, how about a check-in on the jump tour? Always the stars of tomorrow. Certainly we've seen dozens in the past few years come through these ranks.
빛을 잃어가는 왕관들이 채워지는 도시의 별은 하나둘씩 늘어가고 자리 찾아가는 벌처럼 맞춰지는 세상을 벗어나고만 싶어.
일단 1, 2, 3차전에서 성적이 이제 생각보다 나오지 않아서 조금 힘들었는데 마지막 차전에서 이렇게 우승하게 돼서 너무 좋은 것 같아요. 세 차전 동안 너무 마음고생했어요, 아빠한테. 집에서 항상 제 성적 기다리는 엄마랑 언니한테도 너무 감사하다고 전해드리고 싶어요.
For so many of these competitors who have held a club basically as long as they can walk, that first win is always a special moment. And for Lee Seung-min, it was her very first in her entire career, taking home the honors of the 2024 PGA, or at the PGA Country Club, the three generations of Hongsam jump tour, the fourth round. Congratulations to her. G patiently waits for her moment. First effort from off the fringe is a pretty tidy one. Require nothing more than a tap in to conclude. Chung Yun-ji set this putt up, but knew at the very last moment that it wasn't going to drop. She finishes outside of the top 50, a 73 in the opening round. That double bogey on 16 looms large. Feel much better for Peng Xinqiu, who finds her first birdie since hole number 4. 77 in the opener, obviously a tough one. She will look to rebound tomorrow. And the par to conclude the day came down to her one and only birdie coming at 13. She's tied for 114th. Revisit the opening round highlights, and always excited to see these when we have the leaders having completed their rounds in the beginning of the day. EA1, of course, is the player we are most curious about. On the second hole, which was the 11th of her round, she had found her 5th birdie of the day. It was far from flawless, but she was playing some really good golf, already in the lead when she was on her 13th, tucking a approach shot to just a few feet away from the pin. And then on 14, after a run that was a little bit dry, beg your pardon, of course, looking at the front 9 for her, having teed off on 10, that was the conclusion of a blistering 9-hole sequence where she shot a 31, very comfortably ahead at 6 under par. Hung Yamin, meanwhile, also in the morning groups. A 4-birdie performance with just 1 bogey on 13. Pak Jiang, last week's champion. Similar, well, in fact, an identical scorecard. 4 birdies, 1 bogey, tied for 3rd. One of the shots of the day for Peng Min-ji, who comes into this event as the defending champion. Couldn't quite find the consistency that we've seen in glimpses for throughout her career. This was one of those vintage putts, however. Back-to-back birdies on the way out to be even. She just needs to finish 8th or better this week to become the tour's all-time leading money earner. Min Biao, she was also out with a 34, one of the few players that was consistently in the top 10, top 15 throughout our coverage today. Those were the only 2 birdies of her round. 13 is when we started to see the emergence of a few more players in the chasing pack. One of them represented by that birdie. And Pak Ju-young, for me, the shot of the day. A putt that she has to start 10 meters at the minimum to the inside of the pin. Would be able to get it to drop. It was just the second birdie of the day and her first since number 3. On to 17 next. Already inside the top 10 and moving further forward. Lee Ga-young to 3 under par, and she was not done there. Saved one last brilliant bit of play for her second to last shot, setting up this hit and stuck, and the birdie to give her sole possession of second out of the 132 in the field today. On hole 17, our amateur Oh Soo-min, 51 meters out, also using the backspin to her advantage. And sneak that in on the way to finishing at even today. There are 22 players at that even par score. We have 19 under par or higher, all chasing EA1 and her 66, and of course Lee Ga-young, who turned it up late in the round for 4 under. Park Ji-young, Han Chi-won, Lee Seung-yeon, Hang Yu-min, Yoo So-yeon 2, Ma Ta-som. Those are the players tied for 3rd position with another dozen or so at that 2 under 70 mark, with a few still out on course, including So Jin, who is through 14 holes, Hong Jin-young 2 under through 13. And that will be where we leave you off for today, the end of our opening round coverage of the 2024 NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship. 54 holes to determine our winner as the KLPGA Tour season continues to roll right along after a great weekend in the center of the nation last week, won by Park Ji-young. We are pleased to be back here for the 8th event of the 2024 season, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow as the 2024 NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship continues from Suwon. It is a so long for now and a farewell until tomorrow. Same time at 2 p.m. local in Yongin-shi. Goodbye for now, everyone.